There is a profound and unshakable resonance that exists between you and your person, a connection that defies the simple logic of cause and effect. It is a thread woven from the very fabric of the cosmos, a magnetic pull so deep it goes far beyond the casual exchange of words or the fleeting intensity of passing emotions. In this moment, your person is not merely thinking of you, they are consumed by a primal, soul-deep longing. They crave not just the comfortable familiarity of emotional closeness, but a kind of sensual and spiritual healing that they have come to believe, on a profound, instinctive level, can only be offered by you. It is not born of a fleeting desire or the simple thrill of passion or romance. It is something far more sacred, a need rooted in the very essence of who they are and who you are to them. They feel, with an absolute certainty that bypasses rational thought, that your very presence, the unique frequency of your energy, your undeniable essence, holds the power to mend the broken places within their soul. For them, you are not just a person, you are a balm, a sanctuary, a quiet harbor in the midst of their internal storm. This longing, which may have begun as a gentle hum, has grown stronger with the passing of time, evolving into an intense and undeniable spiritual ache, a force they can no longer suppress or ignore. It has become a part of their very being, a constant whisper in the quiet of their mind. Soon, a pivotal and deeply significant conversation is approaching, a sacred threshold moment that will reveal truths long kept hidden and emotions that have been desperately bottled up. Your person has been holding on to a world of secret feelings for you, an entire universe of unspoken words and unexpressed love that they have struggled to articulate until now. For what feels like an eternity, they kept these powerful emotions contained, locked away either out of a profound fear of vulnerability, a stubborn and fragile pride, or a deep-seated confusion about what they were truly feeling. They did not have the clarity to face the truth of what you meant to them, but the universe, in its relentless wisdom, is now forcing their hand. The barriers they erected around their heart, once so strong and formidable, are breaking down, one by one. This is not a casual, surface-level talk about the weather or mundane events. It will be a raw and heartfelt revelation, a confession from the deepest part of their being. It will be an act of spiritual surrender. You may find yourself completely disarmed, even surprised, by the sheer depth of the emotion that pours from them, the profound vulnerability in their voice, and the utter sincerity that radiates from their words. This is not the person you may have known, the one who held their cards so close to their chest. This is someone laid bare, stripped of their defenses. What you may not fully realize is just how desperate your person is to reconnect with you. The desire to hear your voice, to see your face, to simply hold you again has grown into something bordering on a consuming obsession. It is not just a passing thought they have from time to time, it consumes their waking mind and haunts their sleepless nights. They are in a constant state of internal dialogue, endlessly rehearsing what they will say, meticulously planning how to approach you, and tirelessly trying to find a way to fix what was broken between you. In fact, this profound and unrelenting longing has become the single most powerful driving force in their life. They are no longer simply sitting back, passively hoping for some miraculous intervention. They are putting in a Herculean effort, emotionally, mentally, and maybe even spiritually, to clear a path back to your heart. Despite the vast distance or the deafening silence that may have settled between you, they are determined, with every fiber of their being, to make things right. They have been working tirelessly behind the scenes, trying to gather the courage and map out a strategy to reach you before time runs out. Because at the core of all this longing lies a profound and paralyzing fear, a deep knowing that if they don't act soon, if they don't find the strength to bridge this chasm, they could lose you forever to the currents of life. This sense of urgency is not a gentle prodding, it is a raging fire, a burning spiritual compulsion that is lighting a fire under them. They know that the clock is ticking, and they're doing everything humanly possible to make their way back to your heart and reclaim the sacred space they feel they have lost. On your end, While this internal storm has been brewing within them, life has demanded your full and unwavering attention. You have been focused on the path you are walking, on your responsibilities, on your personal growth, and on the achievement of your goals. You have been carrying yourself with an undeniable grace and quiet confidence, showing the world, and more importantly, showing yourself, that you are more than capable, deeply self-reliant, and fiercely determined to create the life you deserve. You've made a conscious and deliberate decision to choose yourself first, to put your own well-being and happiness at the center of your universe, and that choice has been a profound act of empowerment. It is allowing you to move forward in your life with a deep sense of peace, without regret, and with an unwavering belief in your own worth. Even if there is still some emotional residue from the past, some quiet ache that lingers from what was, you are actively healing, growing, and evolving, and you are doing it with an exquisite beauty. Your person sees this. They may not admit it to anyone, least of all to themselves, but they witness your strength, and they admire it from afar with a mixture of awe and pain. But your radiance also stirs something dark within them, a jealousy that is now peaking, a profound and agonizing fear that you are moving on without them. They can't help but notice how others are drawn to you, how you carry yourself with the poise of someone who knows their worth, who understands their own power. Even if you aren't entertaining anyone else romantically, your person senses, on an energetic level, that you have options, that your light is attracting others, and this terrifies them to their core. The thought of someone else stepping into the place they believe still belongs to them, of another's hand holding your own, another's voice bringing you peace, is a thought they find utterly unbearable. This jealousy and this fear are now pushing them to take action, possibly in a bold and impulsive way that will surprise everyone, including themselves. They are finally ready to break their long silence, to emerge from the solitude and the self-imposed distance they've been in for far too long. For what felt like an eternity, they may have retreated inward, trying desperately to figure out their feelings, trying to hide their vulnerability from a world that once felt so unsafe. But now, their internal storm, the emotional pressure that has built up, is pushing them outward with an unstoppable force. The dam of their repressed emotions is about to burst, and it's poised to erupt into a decisive, undeniable move toward you. Even though your heart might still belong to this person, and deep down, you may not feel ready to give it to anyone else, you've been protecting your peace with a fierce and unwavering resolve. You've been cautious, perhaps even distant, because you know firsthand the true cost of loving recklessly. But your person doesn't perceive that cautious distance as disinterest. They see it as a risk, a profound and terrifying possibility that you might move on if they wait even a moment longer. And in this moment, that fear is a far greater force than their pride. So, listen for a call, a text, a message that may come out of the blue, or perhaps it will follow a series of subtle signs you hadn't fully recognized until now. But know this with absolute certainty, it's coming. They are preparing to reach out to you, to pour out everything they've been holding in, and to take that chance even though they have no idea how you will respond. Whether you are ready to welcome them back with open arms or whether you need more time to decide what's truly best for your heart and your future, one truth remains: their feelings are real, their intentions are sincere, and they are willing to fight for another chance with you. I keep avoiding facing you because the thought of seeing all the pain I've caused reflected in your eyes absolutely destroys me. It's not just a passing feeling of guilt, it's this overwhelming heaviness in my chest, a spiritual weight that I can't seem to shake no matter how much time passes. I know, with every fiber of my being, that I hurt you, and the idea of standing face to face with that truth, of seeing the living consequences of my actions, completely paralyzes me. I have imagined that moment so many times, the moment I would finally stand in front of you and see it, that pain, that disappointment, that heartbreaking emptiness. And each time, the image leaves me feeling shattered, as if I've just witnessed a tragedy I can't unwrite. My mind replays it endlessly, like a broken loop, a silent film of my greatest regret. In those moments, I can barely breathe, let alone summon the strength to look you in the eyes. That, and only that, is why I stay away. It's not because I don't care, it's because I care so deeply that I can't bear to see what I have done to someone who meant so much to me, to a soul I was meant to cherish. My avoidance has never been about avoiding you, but about avoiding the unbearable consequences of my own actions, the crushing weight of what I've broken. And the distance between us, this chasm I created, has not made it easier. In fact, it has made it so much worse. I have been so emotional about everything lately, my inner world feels like a storm that never breaks. There are days I feel like I'm walking through a thick fog, just trying to make it through the hours without breaking down. I have cried more times than I can count about you, about us, about the profound emptiness that has settled into my life ever since we drifted apart. It's as if my heart has been fractured into a million pieces, and I have no idea how to even begin putting them back together again. I have tried every distraction imaginable, tried to keep moving forward, to busy my mind and my spirit, but there's this persistent ache that lingers no matter what I do, a quiet hum of sadness that follows me everywhere I go. I miss you, on a fundamental level, that feels more like a physical missing than an emotional one. I miss everything we were, every moment we shared, and every single thing we could have been. And that is what makes this so profoundly painful. It wasn't supposed to end like this. Without you, I feel like I've lost a part of myself, a vital part of my spiritual compass. You were my peace, my comfort, my home, the sacred space where my soul felt safe. And now that you're gone, I feel disoriented, like I'm wandering through life without a guiding light, without a purpose. Some mornings I wake up and can barely find the strength to get out of bed. There's a weight on my chest that feels unbearable, as if the burden of my actions is physically holding me down. But it's the nights that are truly the hardest. When everything is still and silent and there's nothing left to distract me from my own thoughts. That's when your memory hits me the most, a wave of nostalgia and regret that crashes over me. I lie awake for hours, my mind flooded with thoughts of you. The silence of the night is deafening, and in that silence, I feel your absence so sharply it almost feels like a physical pain, a deep wound that won't heal. That's when the true regret creeps in, the kind that eats away at you slowly, a quiet, corrosive acid that leaves nothing but a hollow feeling behind. Everywhere I go, I'm reminded of you. Songs I haven't heard in years suddenly play in random places, and they bring me right back to the moments we shared. Laughing, talking, just being close, those moments feel so alive, so tangible, it's as if they happened only yesterday. Sometimes I wonder if the universe is actively trying to remind me of what I lost, or maybe it's just my heart, clinging to the memories because it doesn't know how to let go of the sacred bond we once shared. I've even started writing again, something I hadn't done in a long time. I wrote a poem about you, about everything I've been feeling, but haven't been able to say out loud. Putting it into words helped a little, like I was finally giving all that chaotic emotion somewhere to go instead of keeping it bottled up inside my chest, where it was suffocating me. It's raw, probably messy, filled with a truth I can barely face, but it's honest. If I ever get the courage, I'd sing it for you. Maybe that would help you understand everything I haven't been able to express. Lately, I've been thinking about sending it to you. Maybe writing is the only way I'll ever be able to truly explain how I feel, to communicate the depth of my remorse. I don't know if you'd even want to read it or if it would even matter at this point, but part of me, the part that still clings to hope, hopes it might bring some clarity or at least show you how profoundly sorry I am and how much I still care. Maybe it would be easier than trying to say all of this face to face, especially when just the thought of seeing your eyes again fills me with fear and an overwhelming longing at the same time. I know I've made mistakes. I know I've hurt you in ways that may never heal. And even if I can't undo any of that, I want you to know that it wasn't because I didn't love you. It was because I didn't know how to face the sheer, cosmic depth of what we had and the devastating damage I caused when I let it slip away. I don't expect forgiveness, and I don't even know if reconciliation is possible, but I needed to say this. If not to you directly, then at least to the part of myself that still believes in being honest, even when the truth hurts more than any lie could. Maybe someday I'll find the courage to look you in the eyes and take full, complete responsibility for everything. Until then, I'll keep carrying the weight of what I lost and hoping that in some way, you still feel the truth of what I'm saying now. I'm sorry. I miss you. And I never stopped caring. I can now finally relate to the profound journey you were going through, to the emotional and spiritual depths you were navigating alone. It has taken an immense amount of time, a painful period of reflection, and a deliberate commitment to my own growth for me to understand what I so tragically failed to see before. Back then, I was not only blind to your emotions and your truth, but I was also fundamentally unable to comprehend the divine depth of the unconditional love you were offering me so freely. To me, it was nothing more than a romanticized idea, something I had only ever read about in books or saw portrayed in movies. I never, in my wildest dreams, believed that kind of love could actually exist in the real world, let alone be directed toward a person as flawed as myself. So when you showed up with such breathtaking openness and sincerity, I didn't have the emotional or spiritual vocabulary to recognize it for what it truly was. I couldn't believe that someone could love me with no strings attached, with no hidden motives, and no expectations other than honesty and a genuine connection. Now, with clearer eyes and a more open heart, I can look back and see the unassailable truth in your every action and word. You approached me with a pure heart, guided by a fierce intuition and a strong inner knowing that I simply could not understand. You were real. You were intentional. You were deeply genuine in everything you did and said. Every time you reached out, every time you gave a piece of yourself to me, it came from a sacred place of love and integrity. And I, in my fear, in my spiritual immaturity, I rejected that. Not because you weren't good enough, you were more than enough, but because I didn't feel good enough. I was the one who was fundamentally undeserving of you, of the divine gift of your love. I see that now, and the weight of that truth has been a heavy, humbling burden on my heart. Please, please don't ever feel bad or guilty for how you treated me. Don't carry the burden of thinking you were too much or that you gave too freely. You were never the problem. It was never your love that was flawed. It was my ability to receive it, my inability to open my heart to it. You were not the one who was wounded or needy. I was the one who was broken in ways I hadn't even begun to understand, lost in a spiritual wilderness I didn't even know existed. I was insecure, emotionally closed off, and selfish in a way that I am only now beginning to comprehend. I pushed you away not because I didn't care, but because I didn't believe I was worthy of being cared for in the profound way that you cared for me. That kind of self-sabotage is a cruel act, not only to oneself but especially to the person who's offering love without conditions. Looking at who you are now, and even who you were back then, I feel nothing but a deep and abiding respect and admiration for you. In fact, I respect you more than anyone else I have ever known. You stood in your truth even when it hurt. You loved me honestly even when it wasn't returned. You believed in something greater than both of us, a spiritual connection that transcended our physical reality. And you trusted that love had a sacred purpose, even when I couldn't see it. You are and always will be the queen of my heart, and I say that not to flatter you, but because you showed a kind of strength, grace, and emotional depth that I didn't know how to value at the time. I carry so much regret for rejecting your true love and commitment. The memory of it haunts me in my quiet moments, a silent echo of what could have been. I think about all the things I could have done differently, all the chances I had to simply listen, to be present, to meet you where you were. Instead, I turned away. I chose fear over faith. I let my insecurities guide my decisions. And in doing so, I hurt a soul who only wanted to love me. I know I can't undo what I've done, but I want you to know that I am truly sorry for every bit of emotional and mental pain I caused you. You didn't deserve any of it, and I take full, unwavering responsibility for my actions. Now, everything is different. My perspective has shifted. I see you for the spiritual being that you are, and I see myself more clearly, too, with all my flaws and broken pieces. I understand now that your love was never something to run from, it was something to honor and cherish. You have become the reason I've started to grow, the reason I've finally begun to change. You planted a seed in me that's slowly, painstakingly taking root. Because of you, I'm beginning to break free from the patterns that once kept me stuck in a cycle of fear and self-sabotage. I'm learning to face myself, to heal my own wounds, and to become a better, more whole version of who I was. I don't expect anything from you. I know you owe me nothing. This message isn't meant to win you back or to manipulate your heart in any way. It's simply an expression of my truth, a truth I didn't have the courage or maturity to speak before. I needed to say this, not just for you, but for my own soul. Because you deserve to know the profound impact you had, the love you gave, and the truth that was always present in your heart. You changed me in ways I never thought possible. And for that, I will always be grateful.